Hi, I'm Nick Nanton, and welcome to the Consumer's Advocate, the one and only place where we bring the top financial professionals in the world to you to give you the best information. I've got one of those guys here with me today, Tom Eaglehouse. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
It's my pleasure. You know, I've hung out with you a lot. I know all about your business and your firm, but our viewers probably don't. So why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
Sure, be glad to, Nick. First of all, personally, I'm married to a beautiful woman, both inside and out. We've got 5 children, 7 grandchildren, and hopefully some more on the way.
Wow.
And my mother's still living. She's in pretty good health. My father-in-law is still living. We help take care of him. His health isn't so great these days. And as far as business-wise, my education and training is actually in finance and asset preservation and distribution. And as far as what my firm does for families, we actually help retirees and pre-retirees and set up their estate properly so that their assets accumulate safely, they can pass them on in a most tax-reduced manner, and they're preserved.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about your mission, your vision, kind of how you got into doing this.
Okay. Well, there's actually 2 main reasons why I got into it, Nick. And the first one is that my parents taught me, through their example of their life, how to have compassion for folks and to help them in need. Okay, and that's the first. And the second thing is because of what I've experienced through my own family members and relatives having as I was growing up. And I'll give you a couple examples of that. And the first one is that we lived across the street from my grandparents the whole time I was growing up. And my grandfather had colon cancer. And my parents and my grandmother helped take care of him, when he went through that. And then that grandmother became legally blind. And she was kind of stubborn, so she refused to leave her home. So my parents helped take care of her, and we had some help come in from outside to help her out. And then I had an aunt who had Alzheimer's. And she spent every single penny that my uncle and her worked their entire life to accumulate on care. And finally, my father had Parkinson's disease. And we were very fortunate, though. He had it for quite a number of years. And it was only got bad, near the end. And we had some help come in from outside, and my brother and sister and my mother, helped take care of him. And it's because of those experiences and what my parents had taught me, through helping others in need. That's why I am dedicated to the rest of my working career to helping every single family have a better outcome than what I've experienced my own family members and relatives having as I was growing up.
That's a great story. That's a great reason to do what you do. Now, Tom, I know you guys do things a little bit uniquely. You don't do them the same way everyone else does. Can you share that with us?
Sure, Nick. Every day we have families and, couples and widows and so on coming into our office. And they think that what they have is a great estate plan that's going to, carry them through the rest of their life. And unfortunately, that's just not true. I mean, they may have an investment account. They may have a will, a power of attorney, and they may also even have a revocable living trust. And they think that that's pretty much all they need. And that's just not going to work because let's say that the market takes a big crash, as it has a number of times in history, and they're counting on this income to supplement their income on a monthly basis. Well, now that income isn't going to last them for the rest of their life. And if one of them ends up having a debilitating illness or becomes incapacitated somewhere down the road, they're looking at a tremendous risk to their assets. They could spend everything they have in a matter of a year or two. So we help them restructure their estate so that we can make sure that they're protected from these things, and they know no matter what happens along the way, that they know what the outcome is going to be and what the effect on their estate is going to be. So we help them to set it up properly so they can grow their assets safely. They can be preserved and protected from nursing home liability or any other lawsuit for that matter. And then when they pass them on to their family, they're going to get the tax benefits.
That's all great stuff. Now, I know you've helped an awful lot of people in the greater Pittsburgh area, but do you have maybe a favorite story you can share with us?
Sure I do. And this is something not so much different than what we see kind of every day of the week, quite frankly. And this is a story of a couple who came into us. And, they're kind of normal. They have a home. They've been retired for a few years. And their husband got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so the children and the mother were concerned as this started, getting a little worse. So they were worried about, well, how are we going to pay for this care if he needs care outside? How are we going to keep up the house if my husband can't help do it? and then what's going to happen to everything down the road if he needs care in the facility and has to spend everything that we have and leave the wife at home in poverty. So what we did, we sat down with the family. We ended up restructuring, first of all, their financial affairs, getting them the proper legal foundation that they needed, set up an asset protection trust for them so that no matter what happens, they know that something is guaranteed, protected, going to go to their family when they pass away, and the wife's income is guaranteed even if the husband ends up going into the nursing home and there's really nothing left.
Wow. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are watching this interview and say, this Tom Eaglehouse guy, he looks pretty smart, and I probably need to get an opinion from him on my finances. How can they reach you, Tom?
Well, the best way is just to call our office, or they can, get us on the website and get in contact with us that way and make an appointment.
Great. Well, thanks so much for sharing your knowledge. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, it's great. Thank you, Nick.